Hello, it's Barb Pask. Going to paint for you again. I've been going through some old photos. When I'm on the road traveling, I'm constantly looking for photo opportunities. Of course, things that draw me in are barns and cows and, country kind of themes. And my husband's so great about it. He'll back up or turn around or whatever I need him to do. So I've been going through some photos and cropping them. I really love the option now with the iPhones. You can do that live shot, and then, when you hit edit, it actually gives you, many different, because it's like a little mini film, and you can choose which photo you want. It's just a great option. So I chose a couple different barn scenes, and I think I'm going to go, I'll show you the two I was considering. Wonderful barn, isn't it? As I scrolled through the shots, there was a truck, and then the truck, just as the truck cleared, I got that photo. And then here was the other one I liked too. I do like the bit of color in it. There's not bright sunlight in either one. And I kind of like the telephone poles, and I think we're going to go with that one. So this is an 8x10 panel. We'll start out and we'll tone the canvas. Start with my typical orange wash. I like that. I like that warm color under there. It works with most things. Well, how's everybody doing? Hope everyone is well. We're doing good here. I got a hair already. Is that stuck in my gesso? Might be. Yeah, maybe I just rubbed it on there. Can't tell. These are panels that I buy from Dick Blick. They're by Speedball, I think it is. Very slick. So I put a couple coats of gesso on them to create some texture. But they're affordable. They're nice. A lot of people cut their own panels, but that's an awful lot of work. And Alright, so we'll wipe it back. It gets rid of, these are water mixable oils, and I use a little water to thin, so that gets rid of the water in there. Alright, I put my paper towels almost out of reach. I got them. You think you're all ready, and then you're not. Alright, so we're going to sketch it in first. So into this orange mixture, we'll just add a little ultramarine, little alizarin crimson, just get something dark. And we'll think about where things lay here. It's got the road in the foreground. Kind of starts here, runs out here, even got the yellow line. And there's telephone poles, which I think makes it kind of fun. The barn stops about here, and then there's some distant trees back in here. Painted in my car again this week, a little more plein air car painting. Corona plein air car painting, right? Painted a barn, painted a white barn, and put it on Facebook and sold it. That was really nice. I actually recorded two different videos yesterday, and you won't see either one of them, but I decided to paint a raw egg. You know, of all the things I've painted, I surprisingly had never painted a cracked egg. I painted eggs in their shell, and found it to be challenging and kind of boring. The finished painting was just kind of boring. I tried at two different places, and I ended up, in the end, actually just taking a palette knife to it, and I like it better now. I did post it on Facebook and got a nice response. It does feel like an egg. You can find me on Facebook, Barbara Pass Fine Art, or by my name. This barn, don't know if we'll paint it just like it is or not. You know, it's got this big garage door, which I think makes it a bit more modern than I may want, so sometimes you just have to change things. There's a couple little kind of dormer windows there. Barns are amazing, and you know, it always surprises me when I see people just letting them fall down. There's so much value to them, and the older ones, so much history. Just sad to let them go by the wayside. Kind of different. This almost feels like it's part of the building, this big, it's like a silo, but I don't know, because the bottom of it seems to land up right at the bottom of the building. So, and then on the top there's just kind of a wire thing, and I can see another one that must be on the other side of it. So I don't know. We'll decide how that reads. And again, I do like the telephone poles, so you know, we will be putting those in. Don't have to put them in yet. I'm just kind of suggesting them. And it might be more interesting, in my opinion, to bring this distant hillside up a bit, so we may do that. All right, let's get going. It's a white barn. There is a bit more light here in the front, not bright sunlight, which might have been better. I painted with artists over the years that they just don't want to paint outside sometimes unless the sun's out. But the other argument is, I've heard people say the colors are truer if the sun isn't out. I just, you know, when I go to paint outside, I just deal with the conditions, whatever they are. Usually, well, a lot of times the sun's going in and out on you the whole time, and you're chasing. You got to try not to chase shadows. That's the big thing with painting outside. You know, usually I pick one or the other and I lay it in and try to leave it alone. going to start out, usually I start out with the darks, and don't know why I'm not, but I'm going after the front where this is catching the brightest light. So if that part is, this part would be, and this upper roof is. Kind of jumped in my head of myself probably doing that, and I'm going back now and kind of laying in shadows. It's not plein air, so it doesn't, you know, doesn't have to be any specific order to it. Watched a video, a doctor talking about, you know, everybody's got an opinion with this, what's going on with the virus. His opinion is that we're making a mistake by quarantining ourselves, that we're weakening our immune system. You know, who knows? Yeah, I have to decide about that. I don't want that to feel like a very modern garage door, so may not even put it in. I got a great photo of a mail pouch tobacco barn that I've never painted. You don't see a lot of those anymore. Interesting barn, isn't it? When you love to have that on your property. I said, and grow up around mountains, as beautiful as they are, it's just not home to me, you know. These are the things that feel like home. And this one has a quilt block here. You see that quite often, more and more. These are water mixable oils that I use, so they're water cleanup, less toxic. But they are oils, work and dry like oils. And this is white, but it's a bit muddier because it is not catching direct light. quilt is right about there. Going to try Zoom tomorrow with, I mean, I've been on it before, but going to try it with one of my painting groups. We're just going to get on there and say hi to each other, basically. Try not to talk over top of each other. This barn has those like vents on top. We'll just kind of suggest them. Of course, we'll have to clean them up, you know. Maybe when we get our sky in. Kind of stick them up there for now. Okay, the bottom part of this is kind of, well, it's just a gray color, really. Just playing around and mixing all my primaries together. Red, yellow, and blue. Gloomy, chilly day here in Ohio. I did get out and walk, though. I think it's in the 40s. Sorry about that. Okay, that looks a little dark to me. Now, we're not going to put the quilt block. We're going to have to make a decision on this area. Probably should bring that white down to there. You know, and I did tone with a warm color, and so my preference would be that some of it show through in the end. So there actually was more of this barn yet. It was so big. But this is all I could get. Like I said, I was in a car, and as a truck cleared it, I got a shot, but it went on. Yeah, again, I think we'll fill that in under there because I think I'm doing the quilt. I'm not sure, but a little darker than I want. That's where those little vent things are. I'm just going to paint over them for now and we'll decide how we feel about them. That's really too light for down there. The proportions aren't exactly right. I have kind of shortened this part out here, and I did it because I want some background in here. You know, I want those suggestion of distant trees, so it doesn't have to be exactly like the photo. Yeah, it really looks like these things like almost go into the barn because the bottom of this, it goes straight across, so obviously it's not, I don't know. They did what they needed to do, didn't they? This is, again, fairly a modern barn, really. I'm just blocking that in for now. Okay, I think we'll go ahead and maybe we'll get this distant tree line in. Mix up a green. They're way back there, so we want them lighter and cooler, those trees. You know, we'll see how this reads once the sky's in. You know, we're going to want soft edges on the top, so. Oh, I should have brought my water in, huh? Probably annoying you. I'm sorry. Got an itchy throat today. A little premature for details, but playing around here. All right, so let's think about some sky color. We're doing cobalt and white and a little yellow. Got quite a bit of sky, don't we? We'll use our palette knife to just get some color on there first. Generally keep a little darker toward the top. And lighter as it goes down. We're just going to take out those things for now. And I think I'm just going to paint across that too, because you can see through that. Again, we're just wiping those out for now. Now, as you can see with this color, the roof's not standing out, so something's got to go lighter, something's got to go darker. I think the roof's got to be lighter. It's lighter in the picture, so lighter than the sky. It's all relationships, isn't it? It's one thing against the other. I'm working down in this lighter section first so I don't muddy it up. Again, this tree line is much lower in the background than I have it. We'll decide later. I think we'll just kind of wipe that out for now because that's got to be lighter anyway. Oh, I wanted to mention that I recently did a video, and it's titled Oil Painting Giveaway, where I painted some flowers in a ball jar, and I am giving it away. The drawing will be May 13th, so go find that video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel, and make sure to leave a comment on that video. Then I'll announce the winner May 13th. I will never bother you, I promise. I know a lot of people are not subscribed to YouTube because I get a lot more views than I have subscribers. It's really no big deal though. I mean, you just, like with so many things, you create a password, and the advantage is there is so much content here on YouTube. If you need to watch a video to fix your sink or your car, or, I mean, it's wonderful. And if you find a channel you like and you subscribe, you hit the notification bell, then they'll let you know if they've uploaded new content. So I think it's wonderful. I've been on YouTube for years and years and years, and I watch a lot of videos. My husband's on here a lot if he's working on the car, or again, plumbing, or you know, whatever. But don't worry about me bothering you. I never would. And matter of fact, I don't even, it tells me when it doesn't always tell me. Sometimes it tells me when someone subscribes, but odds are I won't even know. So, but please consider it. It just gives you a little, makes you feel like people appreciate that you're doing this and putting the effort out. So and do you want me to continue? It'd be nice to know that, yeah. But whatever your interest, I watched a great video the other day, a lady doing color pencil, which I don't do, but wow, doing some cat eyes. It was beautiful. And just wiping that roof out made it feel a lot better, doesn't it? I want to make sure I like the sky before I start throwing in any of the detail. Get a little darker up in here again. This rubber knife is like a palette knife, but rubber, it's Catalyst by Princeton. Really fun. I've got like 3 sizes of them, a smaller one and a great big one, and I have done whole paintings with them. When you get the paint on the canvas, see how I'm doing? You can kind of paint with it, really. They feel really good. Just another fun tool. Or watercolorists can have their tools. I used to paint with this phenomenal lady that was a watercolor. She's gone now, but she did workshops every year, and she just had all kinds of tricks up her sleeve. She would use pieces of windshield wiper and put her fencing in, and she would use a string to show the horizon line. Like she would find her horizon line, see if I can way out here, and then find her angle of her roof, lay it in, things like that. All right. Well, we need to finish this, blocking this in before we get too far ahead of ourselves. This area down in here, whoop, not talking to you, is kind of a golden color. Looks like some kind of field that was cut down, maybe. I'm looking at the value of it. Oh, I bought a new toy the other day. Are they in here? Eric Rhodes makes Plein Air magazine. He's a publisher of that, and I bought a pair of these glasses with red lenses. The idea of them is you put them on to check your values. I took them outside the other day after I got everything all blocked in to just kind of see, and yeah, I was pretty right on. So I've got a little red window that I've used for years, but the glasses should be handy. Again, just another tool, right? Get some of this color in here. We'll go back to our little rubber knife here. Yeah, I should have brought the glasses in and showed you. Of course, they're really just what you would expect they are. Red lenses, red frames. And the road intersects about there. There's even another structure over here, but I don't know if we need that. You know, and I wouldn't have to put the road in. I'm not sure it obviously is, I don't want to draw your eye away. I watched a presentation the other day by Lori Putnam, very good artist, and she showed some photos that she painted from, and how she made adjustments in value. And one of them actually was a roadway with a barn, and the road was fairly light, but she made it darker, which might be something for me to consider. You know, I don't want to draw away from I don't want to draw your eye away from the barn. We got a lot of this paint, so we might as well put it on there. I think the eye likes texture, and we like seeing paint, so. I'm looking at the color of the sky. Let's pull some of it down. Let's pull some of this up here in the sky, so things don't feel so isolated. Pull it back and forth. Keeping the trim over on this side darker because it's not in the bright light. I think I mentioned one time I took a workshop with Mark Bogus, and he would load his palette knife and then he would wipe off just the right amount of paint, which smart to do so you don't end up getting it where you don't plan to have it. So I would assume there's some kind of feed or something inside of these things, right? Do you know? A lot of them, have the dome top, which is really pretty. But I notice a lot of times those are missing too. I guess they just don't hold up. Still haven't made any decisions on the quilt yet, whether we want it or whether it would add anything to the painting or not. There's a lot going on without it even. Break down and clean up my brush. I wipe it a lot, but I don't wash it off a lot. Brighten up these areas that are catching sun. See, we've got some orange peeking through, and I like that. Need to decide, do I want these vent things? Like there's a couple dormer things down here. Don't know at this point. This feels a little dark to me, this shadow. Compared to the photo. This is a case where do we want the road, or we could run this color on down in there, pretend that there wasn't a road. I think we're going to put the road in. but I want to keep it, I believe, a darker value. And I don't mean dark, I just don't want it light as the barn. Sorry about that. Shaking around, isn't it? Don't want your eye to go there, so I so we're playing around here, and there's a white stripe on the edge of the road. Put it in, but I don't know if we're going to want to leave it. Trying to keep it dark too. And the yellow stripe even we'll decide what we think of that. All right, I'm zooming in on some of this stuff going on here. That's a nice thing about painting from your iPad. If you don't, a lot of people paint from photographs. The iPad, you can zoom right in. It's really, really nice for like pet commissions where I need to see the eyes. I really like it for that. Let's see where the other one is. How tall it comes up. The other one's off of the front of the barn, right about here. And you would think this one would be taller than this, but they're really not. Actually, I don't really have this one tall enough. Don't know if it makes a difference or not, but we're going to move it up. Got to do something at least twice or you ain't doing it right. I'm just looking where things hit in relation to the barn, and whoa, way out there. Have to correct that. Thing on the pole, little thing there. Hard to see where some of these even go to. Like I can barely see some coming across. That's a transformer box. And we're going to go back in and paint negatively. I like that the orange is in the sky and down here and down here even. Well, we're going to put some of this sky color down here into our foreground too. one thing that's not reading well to me, and is the roof. It's a value issue. Let's get it wiped out, and then we got to get it lighter for it to stand out. I am making a big old mess. All right, I'm going to mix up something light for the roof. Warm and light. I think that's okay. You know, there's details in this thing, and, you know, imperfections. You know, just have to decide how much I want to pick around with it. Wait a minute. Break down and get out the little guy. There's not much of it shown, but I don't want to mess it up. You know, and I can go back if I want and put the little quilt block on if I think I need it. I haven't really made a decision on that yet. All right, I'm gonna call it, I guess, and let's use our palette knife to do that. quit picking at it for now and just get away from it and look at it. And, you know, I don't have everything in the photo that I do in the painting that I do in the photo. You know, it's kind of my impression. I kind of took that out, and I kind of like that suggestion of that lower siding. I kind of like it. I'm going to put it back. I'll lighten it up there. Okay, it's probably something that's bugging you, but I'm going to quit and give it some thought. Have to decide if I want to put the vent things in. Like there's a couple little dormers, but they're not very attractive. I don't want the big garage door because it's too modern, but I could do the quilt block if I thought I needed it. So I see a little refining that I need to do. Need to separate. There's two of these things, one on the other side. I definitely need to make sure you can tell that. I've kind of lost some of that roof line there. So little tweaks. All right, let me get up and I'll show it to you. Like and subscribe. Don't forget to do that. And find my video that I'm giving away. Make sure you like, that you comment on that. All right. If we can straighten you up, we'll lower you a little bit. All right, that's a straight on view. You know, it's painterly like I wanted. The sky's painterly. And I wanted, you know, to pull the sky to the ground and the ground to the sky, so it felt, you know, uniform. But I think that the barn stands out, and it's the brightest, lightest thing. So I'll probably be doing some little tweaks to it. I want to clean up the telephone pole. I can see that's a little sloppy. So I hope you enjoyed watching. Join me again next time, and you have a good day. Bye-bye.